Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Sensor 360 Investor. Today's video is going to be a little bit unique, and this is going to kick off a series of videos in this uh, lane, and it's going to take a look at a very specific topic. So within our 360-degree framework, we're going to be focused in on all of this together and look at the holistic picture of investing and trading. So before we begin, quick word about the disclaimer. Channel's not providing financial advice, and please pause, read through this, and then continue. Okay, thank you. So without much further ado, so today's topic is running your trading like a business. And we're going to look at this. This is not a well-tackled subject area within the world of investing and trading. There's a little bits of it out there and bits and pieces, but I haven't come across a holistic approach which looks at the business of trading and investing from a true business perspective, with an analysis that says, what needs to be done, etc., etc. So this chain of videos is going to unpack that as we go forward. Today's video is a summary and intro level, and we will look at the key core plans. There are multiple, and those will get expanded, but I just want to introduce some of these. And as I said, this is going to be a summary introduction. Okay, so basically, let's look at four plans, and I'm just going to introduce them today. So the first two kind of talk about the what, and the next two are the how. So the business plan is all about defining the business you're going to be in, and the strategies that you want to deploy in operating that business. Financial plan is all about then quantifying those strategic decisions in the business plan. The operating plan is the execution. This is the how. This is what you will do, and in order to obtain those financial results aligned to your business plan. And then I'm also going to talk a little bit about the HR plan as we unpack, because this is where the rubber meets the road. And ultimately, most investing and trading operations are solo efforts. So it's basically yourself, with your account, with your savings and portfolio, maybe your partner's involved. But ultimately, it's going to be down to you as an individual. So you have to take care of you in the process as well. And so the operating plan and the HR plan both collectively combine the how. Okay, so in terms of the business plan, so this is where you want to be looking at strategically what when you go about, okay, so I want to be an investor, I want to be a trader. Exactly, you have to unpack that and define that on paper. So what markets are you wanting to trade? So this could be forex, this could be some forex currencies, could be the bond markets, could be the equities market, it could be the commodities market, it could be real estate. All of these are different markets, and so you have to decide in which lane you want to focus in on. And you certainly want to start in one lane, get good at it, and then you may want to expand beyond that once you're profitable and successful. Once you've defined that, the next thing is, okay, what kind of style of investor trader you want to be. So let's now narrow this down to, and I'll make the assumption that we're talking about stocks and equities. So here's this may unpack itself into, do I want to be a day trader? Am I a swing trader? Am I a longer term trader? Or am I a buy and hold trader? So all of these are different styles, and each one has its own set of rules that have to be engaged with and traded upon. Then you have to also consider systems, and here we're talking about within your style what stock selections you want to focus on. So do you want to focus in on like blue chips, or market caps of a certain size? This could be large caps, mid caps, small caps. Do you want to focus on high growth stocks which have rapid growth ahead of them, and so these could be your innovative new issues coming to the market. Would you want to be slow and steady an income investor and want to focus on dividends? So these are all different systems that you may want to look at. And then you also want to think about, okay, within this context, what is my high level payback in terms of return on investment? So this becomes your business case. And as part of this, you also need to consider the cost side of the equation in order to get to the ROI. All of those will feed into a business plan. And then this should be a document that you create, and you should write it out and then review it on at least on an annual basis. So that is the business plan. So let's take a look at the financial plan. The financial plan is where you kind of begin to quantify what you decided is your business plan and those strategic decisions. So this is where the rubber meets the roads in terms of you're looking at the numbers, and so this is where you want to have a P&L plan, like what's my profit and loss plan. Within that, the risks and reward of pursuing that P&L plan, and you want to look at the revenue streams by your different investing styles, right? So if you're doing more than one, so let's say you're trading equities in a buy and hold portfolio, so that's a particular revenue stream. And then so look at the revenues and the costs associated with running that. If you're a day trader, then how much you're generating day trading, and then look at the revenues coming in and the associated costs of performing day trading. So then you also need to take a look at benchmarking. So there's two types of benchmarking so I'm just going to talk a little bit about seeing, looking at the analysis of your returns. And you should look at this over multiple time frames. So how did I do in the last fiscal year? What's my 3-year return, 5-year return? What's my lifetime return? And then equate those to long-term market returns. And so you may want to use the S&P 500 for that comparison purposes. But if you are successful and you're generating income, then the tax man has to be paid. So you need to be able to look at that and look at the full picture. There may be wash sales involved. So look at what you actually realized after your costs and after your taxes to get to your net profits, because that's what you're left with at the end of the day. And finally, what you should do is then develop an equity curve, and that's a graphical representation of how you are doing in your portfolio. And the equity curve should be based on your net profits, not on your gross profits, because the gross profits doesn't really give you the true picture. And maybe you want to plot two lines in both gross and a net, that you can see for opportunities to reduce expenses, which we'll talk about in a future video. Okay, next is the operating plan. So this is where the rubber meets the road. This is the execution. This is what you will do within your business to generate those revenues. And so, like any good operating plan and any good operations, there should be a set of written rules. So these are your SOPs, your standard operating procedures, which are your job aids, etc., that guide you on, or what do I do when this happens, what do I do when this happens, etc. In addition to that, it should define the tool sets that you need to run your operation, or any services that you may deploy as opposed and in terms of getting data, etc. And remember, all of these have a cost, and those costs should roll up show up in your financial plan. Then you would have to set up your processes. Then this would be your scans, your setups, and strategies you will deploy in order to make your trades. And within that, that then leads us to trade management. So this should be identified up front, how much money you're going to put in, how you're going to allocate your portfolios, and that will determine your position sizing. And then finally, you should have set of metrics that you track, and this could be something along the lines of, like your win-loss ratio, for example, or your how much your gains and losses are on a per transaction basis. But this will keep you centered and balanced in terms of emotions as to how you're progressing. And then all of that would obviously show up in your equity curve, which we spoke about within the financial plan. And then, so that's kind of the introduction to the operating plan. So let's take a look at, finally, we'll finish up with the HR plan. There are other plans which I'll leave out of scope for this introductory level video. So within the HR plan, as I said earlier, you're the one that's operating this, and you may have support from your spouse, and maybe your spouse is involved, or your family may be involved to some extent. But at the end of the day, this is you are the pilot, and how well you do is a reflection on how well you executed against a plan, on how well that plan was defined. So each quarter, each month, you get a scorecard, which is your statement summary from your brokerage statement, and that's your performance review on a monthly basis. And then you can take a look at that on a quarterly basis, and certainly on an annual basis, where you'll benchmark against long-term metrics. So you have to figure out, do I have the skills and the competencies in order to do this? And some of you will have an advantage because the work that you do may easily lend itself to some of the competencies that you need to pick up, and there may be new ones that you may need to get to. If there's a gap, then you get to figure out how do I close that gap, and what resources do I need? So you should write out like a job description of and including the KPIs, which are key performance indicators, and also a development plan, which says, I need this training, I need to show up this competency, etc. So, and then that may just be as simple as identifying some books that you can pick up pretty easily in a library, or attending formal training classes, right? But and that we'll talk about in a later video. Okay, so that introduces the 4 plans, and in the future video, what we'll do is we'll unpack this a lot more. But I wanted to introduce this as a topic. I haven't seen a good treatise of this work out there, and so I think there's a gap that certainly I want to fill. And if nothing else, if this raises questions, or you have questions about, hey, maybe there's a point here, maybe I should look at this, or maybe I should do this and formalize my trading and investing, then that's job done, and these videos will have met their objective. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I will see you in the next video. If you want to subscribe, please do subscribe. There will be further videos in this series. Thank you. Goodbye.